So, okay. Let's see, it's about 6:05. We got Mike, we got Jennifer from the broker's office, and we got quite a few of the people. I already had word from some of them that they're going to listen to the recording. So I'm going to go ahead and start the recording now. All right, there we go. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to be on this Paragon Healthcare Group training call, which our training calls are vital. I am going to have to let you know there's going to be a call that you will receive, a recorded call that you will receive sometime on Monday, hopefully earlier in the day on Monday for you to listen to, that will specifically address the medical. That's the one piece that's not quite ready yet for this group. But we thank you for being here. Mike, since you're on the call and Jennifer's on the call, let both of you guys share a little bit about Paragon. Jennifer's worked many years with Paragon, and so she has some insights for us. And Mike, go ahead and I'll let you start.
Okay, so I'll throw in a couple of comments that Carrie, our broker, would probably have covered if he were on the call. He's landed in New York. He's been in California for 2 weeks. First week vacation and business, and this week all vacation. Excuse me, other way around, all business. I've worked with Carrie for 11 and a half, 12 years. Written more business with Carrie than probably any other 2 or 3 brokers that I've done business with during my 13 years with Colonial. As I mentioned a little earlier to Jennifer, he is a really, really bright guy, runs a heck of a business in New York. He's got clients all over the country. We've always done core enrollment services for him because he had large cases, and we were an obvious choice for helping his office deploy enrollment services and benefits across to those clients. Carrie trusts us, and this is the biggest message that I have for you this morning. He trusts us implicitly because we watch over his business as if it was our own. Now, of course, the Colonial portion is, but I'm talking about the medical, dental, vision, and the relationships with all of the facility managers and owners and human resource directors who work in his clients' places of business. And we need to implore all of you to help us protract that culture of trust that we have with Carrie's office. For the obvious reasons. 1, it's what we do. 2, it's the thing that makes our phone ring with future opportunities. We have other business in Texas, and Carrie has a business owner who is buying another 1,000 lives of facilities down there. So not only is there current opportunity for you to perform your work and meet with benefit counselors, and excuse me, you can tell it's early in California, to meet with employees, but there is future work. And so my request of all of you is to do what we advertise, and that is to leave every employee with a good experience. And that will roll up through the post-enrollment surveys that we ask you to give every employee. That's a little report card they do on you when they complete their enrollment with you. That goes over to the facility manager, and the facility manager takes those and rolls those over to the HR director. And of course, good feedback rolls its way up to the broker. And that's what makes my phone ring every time with Carrie. So I don't need to tell you how to do your job. Andrew is going to show you the information so you can go do your job, because all of you are experts at it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on the phone with us. You came high. Those of you that we have not worked with before, you came highly recommended from the NET teams, and so we appreciate what you've done in order to have that recommendation. So on to Paragon. Paragon is a company that's based in New York. There are about somewhere between 22 and 25 employees that work in the corporate office. The owner of Paragon has about 1,200 employees that work in all of the facilities in the state of Texas. He also has some, Andrea, it's either Michigan or Minnesota, and I can't remember, and I just asked you last night. Minnesota.
Yeah,
We'll
Minnesota.
not be doing Minnesota right now. Yeah, we're not going to do Minnesota this time. So everybody here is good old Texas folk. By the way, my parents live in Texas, and my brother lives in Texas, East Texas, over in the Golden Triangle, over there in Beaumont, Port Arthur, in Orange. So they're all, you know, the nursing homes. We've got a lot of clients. We have another one called Chosen Healthcare that we're going to start soon. It's based up in the Midwest that also has facilities in Texas. So this is not a new space for us. Nursing homes have good people who work there. Sometimes those good people don't feel like they need to go see a benefit counselor. So one of the things I did in our training last week was to have all of the facility managers in Texas on the phone with the HR director, and we spent about 45 minutes walking through logistics, not walking through benefits. It was not a benefit meeting, it was a logistics meeting. And we talked about why open enrollment's held, how it benefits the employee, the ACA rules that must be met, otherwise the employer can be exposed to liability if they can't prove that they offered affordable benefits to all benefit eligible employees as defined in their place of business. So it is mandatory meeting working conditions for all benefit eligible employees to come and sit with a benefit counselor. I begged, pleaded, didn't borrow. I didn't have anything to borrow, but I begged and pleaded for the participation of all of the facility managers to work with their benefit counselor to efficiently flow the employees to the benefit counselor, even if they said, well, I've already enrolled, you know, at the exchange, or we're just not going to do anything. They all have to come and see you so they can sign off on the waivers inside Harmony that protects the employer. Now, it sounds like I'm complaining a little bit. I'm not complaining. I'm just being a realist. We all know what we do, and we have employees who think insurance people are, you know, crabs and lechers who are after their wallet. That's not what we do. We all know that. We do help those who are interested in our benefits, but we also have this responsibility for making sure everybody gets signed up for their waivers and everything to help the employer document who they've offered benefits to. So it's a well-informed set of facility managers. As always, please develop a good relationship with your facility manager because you'll find that an increasingly cooperative relationship if you've focused on that in the beginning of your stay during your tenure there, in your 1 days to 3 or 4 days, who knows, it depends on the number of employees at each location. I don't see any landmines anywhere. Andrea did speak earlier about kind of a mad rush here at the end to get all of the medical information, and we're short that medical piece during today's call, but we're going to make that up. The plan administrator, Stacy Rogers-Gordon, is intent upon having a 10/1 effective date, so it is up to us and the broker to help deliver that, and we'll get it done. My office works on a very open, candid basis. We ask for critical feedback from our clients, so we need that from you too. If you have a facility that things are not flowing the way they should, we need you to call Andrea and let her know. Drop her an email, and then we can get in touch with HR and have a nice phone call made to that facility manager and ask for a little bit more assistance. I don't think that's going to occur. I really don't. It sounded to me by the tenure of the phone call that everybody's in the game and knows what they have to do, and that there should be good cooperation all the way through. This is a new case for us. We are replacing Allstate, and That means that the group has experience with what supplemental benefits deliver to an employee. So I think you've got a nice working environment here with good conditions. I love takeovers of competitors for the reasons that I just described. I think it will be good for you. Please keep in mind that there's no bad news. We would rather you call us with something, even if you made a mistake yourself. This is really important. If you made a mistake yourself, the way my office operates, and Andrea and I have worked together for 12 of my 13 years with Colonial, and she can tell you this is true. Call us, tell us what happened so we can get to a solution quickly in that location so we can move past it, fix it correctly, and move past it. You will not find us berating you, or I mean, we're all human. We do good things, and every now and then we make a mistake. We get it. It's part of being a humanoid. So keep us posted. No surprises. That's what we like, and we look forward to all of you and having a good time there and working with your folks. And thank you very much for responding to our call for benefit counselors on this job. We appreciate it very much. So Jennifer, I'm going to hand it over to you. Let me introduce Jennifer real quick. Jennifer worked for the gentleman that was the broker in the past for all of the locations in Texas. They also represented Allstate. So she brings some history to the group, and she is now an employee of the new broker, but will remain based in Texas, not in New York, where Carrie's located. And so she's got a particular insight and history, so she can help and be a first line of assistance to us. So Jennifer, if you've got anything you can share with our benefit counselors this morning.
Well, good morning, first of all, to everyone. I do have at least 1.5 to 2 years experience with most of these 9-1 or 10-1 groups that you'll be seeing. And like he said, they're very knowledgeable. Never had any issues when we went for any of the past enrollments. They're really great employees to work with. The facility managers are very knowledgeable. And, I would be very open to answering any questions that you guys might have.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Mike, did you happen when you talked with the managers mention that we are replacing Allstate, so it's not a surprise?
Yes, I did. Definitely did. And I told them that the payroll slot's going away, and that the employees will be advised that there may be some policies that are portable and some that are not. That if they wanted to keep their policy, of course, it would be by paying Allstate direct if it's a portable policy. So yes, they all know.
Okay. And then I sent out all the Allstate invoices that we had yesterday, so you can just pick, download the ones that pertain to your locations that you're going to be assisting at. And so then you'll know specifically who you need to talk to about Allstate when you sit with those employees. The HR in New York has been very proactive in getting the census that we need as well. And so she has one more location to get me today, and then I'll start, and of course it's come in, how many locations do we have? 22. It's come in 22 spreadsheets. So I'll be working this weekend to finish prepping this database. So it won't be available to download probably until late on Monday. Especially I have to wait until I get the rest of the medical information from Carrie, and then we're going to do a separate recording. Not expecting any of you to attend on. I'll let everybody know when we're going to do the recording, and if you happen not to be off barbecuing, you can come attend, or I'll send out the recording afterwards, specifically addressing the medical. Since we're receiving socials, the password and login schema is going to be the norm with the socials, but basically for this group we're going to be enrolling, besides our Colonial products, we're going to be doing their medical, dental, and vision. There is only one vision plan. It's a continuing plan, a superior vision. It's voluntary, so the employee pays for it. There's no employer contribution for the vision. Dental insurance is also, there's one plan that's offered to all employees on a voluntary basis as well. Now, the tricky part with this group is the dental rates and the medical rates are different depending on their location. So the employee location is going to be a key factor in this database. So if you come across an employee that that you're sitting with and they happen not to be in the database and the location manager verifies that they are a full-time employee that needs to have benefits, when you add any employee to the database, you have to select the correct location for the correct dental and the correct medical rates to show. So that will be a vital piece if you have to add any employees. So location is the key for this one.
Andrea,
medical insurance, yes.
I just wanted to pop in before you rolled off this page. You need to put a checkbox by FSA because Carrie's offering flexible spending accounts.
Okay, because I know you said that, but I didn't have any information on that, and I was wondering.
Really, he didn't give me anything?
Nothing. So I have no notes on that. So I just was wondering if you have the correct group. But
yes, I do. I wanted to make sure you knew that. I will jump on my cell phone with Carrie. I thought he got you everything. I'll get some details, and then we'll talk about it. Let's include this with the medical information when we record.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'll get details. I'll put you guys on mute, and I'll take care of it. So, all right, back to you.
Okay. Alrighty. So, hey, flexible spending accounts are going to be in this group as well, and I think this will be the first time. Medical insurance, because the HR, the group did not want to delay the start of the enrollment. The medical is more than likely going to continue the same plans. And Jennifer, can you explain a little bit about the two plans? They're both through United Healthcare. Not in depth, just to explain what's in place right now.
From what I remember that's currently in place, there would be an All Savers plan or a fully insured plan. I think on the fully insured plans, those were ones that we put in very late, and I'm not sure if those are staying or if those are going to be switched, and I apologize for that. But on the All Savers plan, there's a $3,000 and a $2,000 deductible. They all have a $30 doctor's visit copay, and I guess that's basically all I kind of remember working with that group.
Okay. Well, we'll get more information from Carrie, and on that recorded call that will go out most likely on Monday to everybody.
I think he is staying with those two plans. I'm just not aware, and I wasn't aware of the flex spending account either.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, I'm sure everybody's worked with flexible spending accounts before, so it won't be a big deal to work with those. On this enrollment, per usual, don't comment on any of the plans. It's just wonderful that their group is offering plans. So we just want the employees to be appreciative that they're offered plans and that the employer does contribute towards medical. We don't need to address the fact that, location B has, less to pay out of pocket than location A, but all that they're going to see is what shows for them, and that'll be good. Now, the one message that the HR and the broker want to get across to every employee is the fact that of the Affordable Care Act. Mike sort of already addressed that a little bit. So we do need to explain to all the employees that although they may go to the exchange for a medical plan, they have to understand that they are not eligible for subsidies because their employer does offer a compliant affordable health plan. And now we also need to explain to them, which is why we're the group is very adamant that every employee sits with us so that we can capture. It's going to be set as required to capture the reason why they're waiving medical, if they're on a spouse plan, if maybe they're still on a parent plan, if they're on the exchange, whatever the reason, we need to, capture the reason why they're not going to go on the medical, because the employer needs to document to avoid tax penalties that they've offered at a compliant, affordable health plan to all employees. So they're not eligible for subsidies. Yes.
So Andrea's on a point. I just wanted to make sure that you gave me an opportunity to jump in and add just a couple of things there. So our broker is very keen on the fact that the employer is exposed, as Andrea is describing to you, to audits. And here is a scenario that happens every day. An employee who doesn't understand what the definition of affordable is, but only knows what their personal definition of affordable is for medical plans. They hear that there are subsidies on exchange. They're not very educated on benefits, so they pay little to no attention during open enrollment at their employer's place of business, and they go onto the exchange, and when they're doing their exchange paperwork to get onto a plan or apply for a plan, the question is, did your employer offer you an affordable medical plan? And of course, in their mind, they're going, well, heck no, it was too expensive. So the answer is no. Well, the question is one of a legal definition about what affordable is, so that it's no more than 9.666% of the 66% of the employee's paycheck. 9.5 last year. The new one is 9.66% this year, inflation. And so they say no, and that means that the employee answers no, which means that the exchange funnels that information on up to the Department of Labor, and the Department of Labor shows up on the employer's door and says, hey, you didn't offer Susie Jones an affordable health care plan. And the employer says, well, yes, we did. Then you got to prove it. So we need to make sure that employees understand the difference between the legal definition in the Affordable Care Act and what our personal definition of affordable is, and that they are not one and the same. So please make sure that when you are sitting with somebody, if they're waiving, especially because they're the ones who may go and think that they have access to a subsidy when in fact they don't, because their employer is offering an Affordable Care Act compliant plan, make sure that that happens. Really important. That was one of his big things. All right, thanks, Andrea.
Yeah, and you need to share with them that if they do claim a subsidy, because the IRS, they will find out that the employee had been offered an affordable plan, because the employer is now going to have the election form that shows that they were offered the plan and they waived it, and they knew that they were offered the plan. If they did claim subsidies and they got subsidies, the exchange is going to bill them back to the inception of their plan start date for the full monthly premium. So they're going to end up paying to the exchange if they claim subsidies, the cost of the full cost of the plan. So we just got to make these issues clear, that they're not eligible for the subsidies, that if they don't have some kind of medical plan, they will be assessed penalties, a tax penalty. So that's one of the key messages that we're going to be giving to these employees, so that they understand, like Mike said, the Affordable Care Act, and it's not affordable in their eyes. It's whether it's met that 9.66% criteria.
Andrea.
Yeah.
I thought you were through. Sorry, I tried to jump in at a tactical point where you were in between sentences. I just traded text with Carrie, and so it's me that's losing my mind. It was Children's Dental where he put in the FSA. It's not Paragon. So everybody, proof again that the Irish who live in California, do not have their stuff together every now and then. So no
I thought
FSA
that,
at Paragon. Hmm.
okay, that's good, because I'm like, I don't see anything about that, but if you say so.
Yeah. Well, we've got 3 groups
Okay.
going with Carrie right now, all simultaneously, and so I guess I blended one of them in with Paragon. My apologies. It's worth checking.
Okay, that's true. So hey, we won't have to do FSAs. Yay!
Yeah.
All right. So more. We'll finalize the information on the United Healthcare medical plans on the other call that I'll send out to you over the weekend. I emphasized the importance of the location because the location is key to the rate that the employee is going to pay for the plan. And it all has to do with, when the parent company acquired the locations and what, they don't want to throw too many curveballs at all the employees, so they try to keep things a little bit even for them. So there we go with the exchange. We're doing everything electronic. There is no paper forms that you're going to have to fill out. At this point in time, of course, when Carrie dives in and studies this group, if anything changes on that, I will let you know. But right now, everything is going to be done through Harmony. The census that I've requested from the group, and I've been getting it for most of the locations, it will, under existing benefits, it will show if they were currently enrolled in a medical, dental, or vision plan, so that, when you sit with them, you can ask them if they want to, since there's only one medical, only one medical, one dental, one vision plan at each location, the question would be if they want to continue the plan. And for those that weren't enrolled in it, that's when there would be more, well, you need to explain it with every employee, but more explanation on they're not eligible for subsidies, because I have a feeling that a lot of these employees think they are eligible for subsidies. So that's what we need to correct, that impression. I put here the rates are going to vary. They're not going to be sitting here under core rates, since there's going to be different rates for each location, and I thought I'd show you all the locations there are in each location, because they're done through separate. They have, I think, 3 separate companies that handle their payroll, and each payroll company has some of the locations, and they sort of work as separate entities. They're all going, as you can see here, they all have their own billing control number. So I put all the billing control numbers in here. They will all be in Harmony. So when you submit business, be sure to find the billing control number that goes with the location that you're working at, and submit the business under that billing control number. There are 4 groups. Most of the locations have 26 pay. I found out that there are 4 groups that are 24 pay, and but all that will already be loaded into Harmony as well. The only time that you'll have to make the select it as pay frequency is when if you add an employee. And so on this list here, I put the 24 pay by the 4 that have 24 pay. The Paragon corporate location has 24 pay. Tulia has 24 pay. Lockney has 24 pay, and then the very tiny Kindle Hospice has 24 pay. So those are the 4 locations that are 24 pay. Everybody else is 26 pay. So there's all the BCNs for you. And then let's see. Most of you, I've already gotten the passwords, have been listening to Mike's Rules of the Road training that goes over a lot of these general instructions for benefit counselors. And yes, I realize that the 3rd password's cut off, but if you give us the first 2 passwords, that's great. Then I'll know that you heard the training. So Mike already alluded, and I think I sent you all a copy of the survey already, so make plenty of copies of that to pass out to all the employees. You do not need to collect the surveys. You just ask the employee to turn the surveys into their contact, the location manager, and the location manager will get all the surveys over to HR. How many surveys do you think we get back, Mike?
Roughly somewhere between 8 and 20%. It varies by group. The way I would suggest you do it, and the way I've seen some benefit counselors do it that I think is best, and that is, you have your little printer, and it's a one-page. So the very last thing you do, you print out the survey. You put it on top of whatever paperwork they have. You should have a folder for each employee with the contents that are outlined in the enrollment guide. Andrea will be going through that. And then just put it right on top and look at them and say, look, this is your report card on my interaction with you. Please take this someplace private, circle the answer that applies. It only takes about 1 minute for you to complete it, and then hand this to your facility manager. That's it. That's the best way. And then more of them get back. I mean, the bottom line is that all of you do a great job, and because you do a great job, too many employees just kind of go and do their business and go back to work, end of story, no feedback ever gets to the facility manager. But if the facility manager is barraged with these, hey, I would love this guy, they knew what they were doing, they helped me out, they answered my questions, and I enjoyed the experience. If they see that 35 times, because that's how many employees are in their facility, guess what? That feedback goes back to HR, and it rolls its way up to the broker, and we all win.
Yeah, and
back to you, Andrew.
And the owner or the HR director really, they always like this piece so that they know that the employees can give feedback, and so we want to make that opportunity available to the employees. Another important it went over in the rules of the road training that we like to emphasize is that the employee should be sitting next to you, not across from you, so that they can see your computer screen, and you turn over, of course, the keyboard to them to set up their own password, because it is their password, not your password. And so let them set up their own password, and just to be sure that that we all, that we comply with all our legal requirements of being, sitting with the employees with all the HIPAA compliant information that we're going over with the employees. If you, and I know you're setting up dates with your location. If you notice that you need additional dates, please go ahead and set additional dates. Just keep in mind that this group was pretty adamant that we complete the enrollment by the 16th, because they need all the the payroll deductions, the election forms, everything back. They want everything back by the 25th of September. So they wanted to have time for everything to clear, everything to be received. They actually want it as early as I can get it back to them. So there might be a day leeway, 2-day leeway, but we can't go much past the 16th. So, and there is going to be a couple of sentence waivers in here in the database, especially the one on the ACA waiver. That they sign up, that they understand that they're not eligible for subsidies, and they understand that there is tax penalties if they don't have health insurance from somewhere, whether it's through Paragon or their parents or their spouse. So we're going to be having every employee sign off on that. I'm getting the information census from the employer, but we always like to promise the employer that we will return back to them updated information. So go over everything that's in the profile and update it. So if the cell phone number is incorrect, or if the address is incorrect, or date of birth is incorrect, correct it in Harmony so that the profile information that I return back will be the most up-to-date information on all these employees. We, as you know, at one time with this group, they do have a lot of part-time employees. We were going to assist them and offer some benefits to part-time employees that were employed a year or longer, but they looked over which I think is good for us. They looked over their turnover rates and realized that their turnover rates were high with all the part-time, and so they decided not to offer benefits to part-timers. So if you have an employee that sits down with you and nothing shows, like you can't see any medical, you can't see any colonial, then their status is probably listed as part-time. And if the facility director is directing them to sit with you, please don't change their status until you verify with the facility manager, facility director, that this employee truly is a full-time employee, because the medical, dental, vision are not going to show for any employees unless they're unless they're listed as a full-time employee. So just wanted to make sure that we don't change statuses willy-nilly unless we double check with the employer. Mike, I was putting down these numbers that we talked about in one of the other groups, and just want to verify that the tax penalties, I think we talked about it, was $695 for each adult and $347.50 for each child, up to a max of $2,085 for a family. Is that the current tax penalties that they have to pay?
First, a disclosure: I'm not an IRS employee. No, I'm kidding.
No, I know, but
those look accurate. Yeah.
Okay. And then I wasn't 100% sure. Employees can also check to see if they're eligible for Medicaid. I guess it's not Medi-Cal, since there's no Texas. Texas isn't part of California, but for Medicaid. And I think they have to make under $16,000, and a family needs to make under $33,000 to be eligible for Medicaid. So
I'm not certain about that, but why don't you pull the word Medi-Cal out of that?
Yeah, I'm so used to writing Medi-Cal because we're here in California that I forget to. Oh yeah, I guess it's not pertinent there, since you guys are in Texas or New York. And then, of course, the Allstate invoice is going to be important, because we do want to help employees make the change over to Colonial if they have any Allstate, since the Allstate pay slot is going away. Jennifer, do you remember what kind of benefits they have through Allstate?
I do. So those benefits that we offered would have been life insurance, short-term disability. There would be a few heart, stroke, and cancer policies, and then there may have been one or two that would have enrolled in a hospitalization policy, but that one we didn't receive a lot of participation in. It was mainly life and short-term disability.
Okay. And luckily, we have life and short-term disability on our menu. So it'll be easy to replace.
They do seem to like and feel, that it is important that they have.
That's good to know. There is a UVille site that's being established for this group, so you can have that open to show the employees, www.visituville.com/Paragon. New York would have a hyphen New York for the New York site, since New York's a bit more particular about the plans. It's not 100% complete, because they've just received the dental and the vision flyer to post, and we're still waiting on the medical plan summaries to post. And if the broker's office creates a benefit booklet, then all that will be put on the UVille site. Let's see, Colonial. I put all the underwriting exceptions here that Wayne gave us, and these underwriting exceptions still hold, correct, Mike?
Everything is the same. I'd have to read through this really quickly, but as you go through it, let me go through it with you, and I don't know of anything that's changed.
Okay, so we are offering the group accident plan. The I'm trying to see if I can get it. They wanted to offer the off-job based accident plan under plans 1 and 3. New York doesn't allow off-job only. You have to have on and off job in New York. And once I set up New York with on and off job, Harmony wouldn't let the plans had to match. So right now I'm asking group underwriting if they can fix it, or if we have to go with it. It may be on off job based accident, Mike, because Harmony wouldn't let a different plan be set up. They all had to have the same. So right now it's plans 1 and plan 3 that are available, group accident, and it'll say in Harmony, Texas or New York, so be sure to select the Texas plan, since you guys, if you're in Texas, and the New York plan if you're in New York, because New York is involved. There are 2 site estates for the group plans in New York and Texas, so both plans will be set up in harmony. So you all can see Texas and the initials for Texas and the initials for New York, so you know to select the correct plan. And there's guaranteed issue for the base accidents coverage on the employee and family with no participation requirement in a group accident. Group critical care with cancer, which is the Plan 2. This was the one, Mike, that I wanted to ask you about. Here in the underwriting exceptions that you had from Wayne, it had a guaranteed issue up to $25,000 of the face amount, but on your proposal it said $30,000. So I wasn't sure what did Wayne only give approval then for $25,000?
Wayne gave us 25, yes.
Okay. So the guaranteed issue amount is $25,000, and the guaranteed issue is available for this enrollment with no participation requirement for the first year, but we need 10% participation for the next annual enrollment to continue guaranteed issue, which right now it's showing about 1,200 full-time employees, so you can see 10% of 1,200 is quite a few policies. But since there are that many employees, and it seems like there have been some critical illness cancer plans with Allstate, hopefully we'll make our participation to continue to offer the guaranteed issue amount. Of course, be sure to tell them that there's a 1212 pre-existing condition limitation exclusion for site estate Texas, and 66 pre-existing condition limitation exclusion for site estate New York will apply. So there's still, although there's guaranteed issue, there's still, pre-ex has to be satisfied for anything that they have a pre-existing condition for. We're offering group disability, which will help to replace the Allstate disability. Guaranteed issue is available with no participation requirement for the first year, but 10% participation is required for the next annual enrollment to continue guaranteed issue. And the guaranteed issue is up to 60% or $4,000 monthly benefit. It's going to be off-job for site estate Texas and on-off job for site estate New York, and we have A rating for this group. We're offering the 3- and 6-month benefit periods and a 0-7 elimination period, and of course the 1212 pre-existing condition limitation will apply. And I think for this one we were also offering the first day hospital, correct, Mike?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Which should make it very attractive for a group like this.
That's true. Group disability happens to be one of the group plans that I have to pull in group underwriting to help set up. So I'm giving them all this information, and we'll go over it with them after we finish these conference calls. Whole life is going to be on the menu to help replace the life that they currently have with Allstate, and it's guaranteed issue on the employee up to whatever $18 a week will purchase to a maximum of $75,000. They need a minimum of 10 applications to allow guaranteed issue to continue for new hires. I think 10 applications, is it a minimum of 10 applications or a minimum of 10%?
Which one are you doing now?
Whole life.
Whole life? It's the same, I'm reading it. It's the same criteria that you just reviewed, where it's 10 applications, no participation requirements for the first year, because see how it says expect a minimum 10 applications to allow for GI to continue for new hires. So there's nobody who applies for whole life that will be denied whole life, but in order for new hires to be continue to receive the guaranteed issue parameters that you see here, we need to have 10 for those new hires to be offered the same program.
Okay.
Andrea, if I could just, really quick, I just wanted to let you know we did not offer whole life. The only life insurance we offered was term life.
Okay.
In the past.
Well, this will be a new opportunity then for the employees, because a lot of employees like the savings aspect of the whole life.
I think so, because we did have a few that would ask at each enrollment about whole life. So I do think there would be a few that would be excited about that.
And also remember that the whole life also has the long-term care rider available with standard underwriting, and given where these employees work, that might be a feature that they might be interested in as they see, people that need it. Term life is also on the menu, Term Life 1000. We have a post-enrollment guaranteed issue available on this one as well, with 15% participation to allow guaranteed issue to continue. And then here you can see what the guaranteed issue is that Wayne gave us. Ages 15 to 50, they can get a max of 3 times their salary up to 100,000. 51 to 60, max of 3 times their salary up to 75,000. 61 to 75, up to a max of 3 times their salary to 25,000. If you're sitting with an employee and these guaranteed issue amounts aren't showing, let me know right away, because that's something that I have to immediately go to our risk underwriter, Wayne Hamilton, and he fixes. But if you're doing it and it doesn't let you go to, for guaranteed issue to a max of 100,000 for like a 40-year-old, text me, email me, call me, let me know so I can get our risk underwriter to correct it so that you get the correct guaranteed issue amounts showing. So then, of course, Wayne gave us these products on a contingent upon the following guidelines, that we sit with 75% of the working employees at Paragon Healthcare, but we should be sitting with almost 100% of them. And then he approved a 2-year rate guarantee for the 3 products: the group accident, group critical care, and group disability. And there's a few other things, but they're not there. And then the other thing that we want to offer is the well card. So I think I sent you copies of the well card. Be sure you have the well card. This is something that might be very attractive to the employees, and they're going to have to sign off on it that they received the well card, that they understand the benefits of the well card. If you look on the back of the well card, it's more than discount at the pharmacy. I've known a lot of groups that have used it for entertainment value, getting discounts on the various amusement parks that they can get them off of, or travel. There's more than discounts than just for pharmacy on there. So take a look at it. Open up to the web address that's on the well card, and be familiar with it so that you can share with the employees, what kind of benefits they can get with the well card.
Andrea, before you leave, while you were going through that, I noticed that we don't have credit for time insured on disability. And so I wrote to Wayne while you were talking. I don't know how we overlooked that somehow. So we're going to get back to everybody about that. There should be credit for time insured, so we can, for those who had a disability product with Allstate, we can waive their requirement for a pre-existing condition if they file a claim during the first 12 months. So we're going to get back to you. That I wrote to Wayne while Andrea was talking, and then we'll get that added into the enrollment guide. Thanks, Andrea.
Okay. Yeah, because like I think when I sent this guide out to you, that this was the preliminary guide, because I'm still waiting on the medical information. So don't print it out until I send it sometime on the weekend, once I get all the medical information from Carrie, and anything else that we need to add to it, I will add to it as well. The folders that Mike alluded to here is the type of what we would like you to include in the folders that you give to all the employees that sit with you. Be sure that you have your business card. You're going to, of course, print an election form to give to them. Give a brochure for just the products that they elect to participate in. I mean, if they're, you don't have to give them all the brochures, just the ones that they participated in. Give them the taxability benefits flyer for cancer, critical illness, or disability if they, get those plans. And then, of course, an overview of a POP plan. The service guide for policyholders a request for service form so that they have one readily available if they need to, send in information, make any kind of change that they need to make a change to. And then, of course, Mike's survey form. We want to be sure that they all have that survey form. The last page that like Mike mentioned, the best practice of doing his survey form to give to the employees. I didn't put the schedule in here because you guys are putting it on the location list. I have received back dates from some people, but I'm still waiting. Well, Russell told me he was going to hopefully get me the dates today, and then I'm still waiting for dates from Mark, and I don't think Mark was able to be on the call today, so he'll hear the recording. So be sure to send me the dates that you're going to be at your location as soon as you can, because I need to get the complete schedule over to Carrie at the broker's office. Jennifer and HR in New York wants to know when we're going to be at each location as well. There are, I forgot to say that, let me go back up to the location list. I do have the here we go. There are 2 locations that are new, Willowbrook and Webster. So I do have the census for those locations, but there won't be any Allstate invoices for those locations since they're going to be their first month enrolling with Paragon. So Willowbrook and Webster are 2 new locations, and like Mike said, they're bringing on more locations that we will be probably going to later, but they're not up and running with Paragon yet. But Willowbrook and Webster are the 2 newest locations. So if you're scheduled for those, just keep in mind you won't see an Allstate invoice for those 2 locations. Alrighty, and then let's see, we went through that already. Okay, and here you can see the name of the main HR lady, Stacy Roger Gordon in New York. She's the one that has been getting census for me, and she's the one that's been communicating with all the location managers about the importance of these meetings. Here is Carrie's information. Carrie wanted me to be sure that everybody had his cell number and his email so that if you encounter a question that you are able to give him a call, because he is hands-on with his groups. So be sure to call him or myself if you have any questions when you're sitting with employees, because it's okay to tell employees if they ask you an in-depth question about the plan, to tell them that you need to find out that information and get back to them. So that's an okay thing to do. We've already went over the effective date for this group is going to be October 1st. That's why they want it completed by the middle of September. And enrollment technically goes to the end of September, but if we waited till September 30th, they wouldn't be able to have all the data processed by October 1st. There are a couple of different premium due dates. Most of them have, it depends on the day, although they're paid 26 times or 24 times, the pay dates aren't necessarily the same, week of the month for each location. So the majority of the locations have the premium due on the 7th of October. There are a few that have it due on the 12th or the 14th of October. But that would, the employees just need to know that they're going to start their deductions probably around their first paycheck in the month. It is an A-risk group, and it's not really section billing since each location has a different BCN. So that's why you have to submit business on the correct BCN. If perchance there's so many BCNs, if you notice that you submitted on an incorrect BCN, please let me know right away, because I can get with the billing specialist prior to the first invoice being issued to get those people moved to the correct BCN. Each location, either today or Tuesday morning, will be receiving flyers to pass out to all the employees. So you all have received a copy of those flyers that you may have already given to the, a copy of to the location manager as you set up the enrollment. So, and the poster, and that way the employees know which day we're going to be there and they're coming. This group, of course, decided that they wanted, everything to be just for their full-time employees, so part-time are not eligible even for Colonial. The group disability, here I put it, the first day hospital up to 60% in Texas. Term life are offering all the plans and riders. We went over up there. Whole life, we have the long-term care rider, which in this type of business might be a plus for some of the employees. So they see what happens if people that need long-term care. Plans 1 and 3 with the group accident, and then group critical care is plan 2, and guaranteed issue is only, Wayne just approved to $25,000. So $25,000 is what Wayne approved for us. And so, does anybody have any questions on any of the Colonial plans before we move on down to talk about dental and vision? Okay. Alrighty. So the medical is basically going to be the same plans as last year. The rates vary according to the work location, and you'll get a special recording on just the medical over the weekend. It's going to most likely stay with United Healthcare. Vision, it's the same plan as last year. It's totally voluntary. The rates are the same for everyone. It's, I think I sent you the flyer on it. It's Block Vision, Superior Vision. It's the Gold 125 plan. Let's see, here we go, Paragon. I'll pull up the flyer real quick. Yeah, got a lot of, here we go, Superior Vision. Alrighty, so here we go. So here is and they are offering the, like I said, when you go down to the bottom, you can see that they're offering the Gold 125 plan. It's a $10 exam plus a $25 eyewear copay. And so these are the rates over here that they, the $620, the $1055 for employee spouse, $1120 for employee and children, $1670 for family. And then, got to make things open. And then you can see the exam, well, down there it was, the $10 that they had, and then the $25 for materials. And then they can have up to, retail allowance up to $150, but, $125 when you take out, subtract the $25 copay that they do. And contact lenses in lieu of frames and glass lenses is the same retail allowance up to $150. Now for the Gold plan, you can see the eye exam is every 12 months, lenses every 12 months, frames are every 24 months, contacts are every 12 months. If contacts are medically necessary, they're of course paid in full. And this one also even gives laser. More and more people are getting LASIK, and so there's some laser vision correction on this plan as well. $200 benefit allowance plus discounts and special prices in lieu of eyewear benefits. So if they take the LASIK, they don't get the other. Anybody have any questions on the vision? It's basically a standard vision. There's no employer paid contribution. It's the totally voluntary plan for the Gold 125. Okay, and we'll open up, and their dental plan is through Delta, and the calendar year deductible is $50 a person and $150 per family, dependent children up to age 26. Calendar year maximum is $1,000 per person. Now this one breaks up the benefits, and of course, it looks like it's the same percentage when you're out of network, but keep in mind that the cost, there's contracted rates for the Delta Dental PPO dentists, and so the contracted costs are less expensive than whatever the usual and customary costs. So the diagnostic, the first 12 months, they get 100% the coverage for the diagnostic and preventive services, exams, cleanings, x-rays, basic services for fillings, sealants, dentures, 80%, and then of course 80% for endodontics and periodontics, root canals and gum treatment. They're covered for this particular plan under basic service. Now, they're not eligible for any major services until the second 12 months that they have the plan. And then, of course, they get 50% off of major services, crowns, inlays, onlays, whatever, bridges and dentures, 50% off oral surgery, and 50% off of ortho services for children only. And here it tells you what the ortho max are. You know, $500 a calendar year, $1,000 for a lifetime. So, but every little bit helps. Jennifer, do you have anything that you can explain further about either the vision or the dental plan?
No, you went over everything, all of the major topics that when we would sit down with the employees that we would discuss and go over with them.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on the dental or vision plan? It's so nice when it makes it so much easier when we do our enrollment when there is one choice for medical, one choice for dental. It makes it move a lot faster, and the employer certainly appreciates it when we get the employees back to work, you know, within 30 minutes of them sitting down with us. So that's our goal. And let's see, everybody's contact information that I've been given is down at the bottom. If you need to, you know, get a hold of the other benefit counselors, and I will fill it in with other information that I have. Mike, do you have anything else you want to share?
Well, I've got a couple of things going on. One, I've got a list here. So is the benefit counselor who's going to be taking care of the New York office on this phone call?
No, Robert wasn't. He was at an enrollment this morning. He's going to be listening to the recording.
Okay, all right, good. Would you reach out to I got an email this morning from the HR director for Paragon, and she has not received a call yet from the benefit counselor scheduling her location in New York, and she's wondering why. Me too, because this has been out for a while. So if you have not scheduled your locations, please take care of that ASAP early today. If you're having trouble with somebody that's not returning a phone call, please let us know who that is so we can get behind it and have them given a little incentive to return your phone call. So Andrea, would you stay with him, the New York agent? I think you said Robert.
I'll give him. Right. Yeah, Robert. I'll give him a call.
Very cool. Yeah, I got that email from Stacy just a minute or two ago.
Okay.
Next thing, the order of the benefits. Something that's been taking place, and some people have been doing it for a while, and others not. If you think about our benefits that we offer groups, there are three categories of those benefits: disability income, life insurance, and supplemental health. So we've got two supplemental health benefits, which are group accident and group critical care, as well as disability and life insurance. So Andrea, I was checking email and doing this thing with Stacy back and forth. So did I miss, is term life on our menu? Did you have it on there?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Again, I wasn't paying attention. So here's what we want to do. The order that you should present this to the group, and Andrea, you may have already placed the presentation order in Harmony this way. If not, please do. Medical first, then colonial accident, and then colonial critical care, and then dental and vision and other things, and then colonial disability at the end and colonial life at the end. And the reason for that is that our supplemental health plans were conceived to help employees reduce their out-of-pocket expenses as they work their way up to their deductible and their max out-of-pocket. So they work together. They are grouped together with the medical plan in terms of if you were to group things as categories. So that's the order you should go in: medical, those supplemental health plans, accident and critical illness, and then dental, vision, etc., and then disability at the end, life at the end. Anybody have any questions about that or observations?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Is there anyone on the call that would like a separate phone call afterwards to review any of the information? This is not a I'm a special needs child request. It is us trying to make sure we've done every possible thing that we can to make sure that all of you are completely prepared. Again, there's going to be medical information provided a little bit later, but does anybody need any additional, do you want us to reach out to you? And if you decide you do, let Andrea know, and then we will get back. And then last, again, is, you know, we all need to make a living. We all want to, but what makes a living for us consistently is creating a good experience for the employees, so we don't do anything that leaves that employee thinking that they got pushed along toward purchasing Colonial products. Our job is to represent the broker and Colonial, and we offer medical, dental, vision, etc. We educate and help that employee understand the connections between solutions and needs, but we don't push. That's all I have, Andrea.
Okay, Jennifer,
I do have one question.
Sure.
Yes.
Are the groups, have they been given any information as far as what is going to be sent to them as far as the core products?
Yes.
Have it been sent out to them yet?
Benefit book is going out today.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Today,
Well, it has not been, so they're not going to have it by Tuesday.
Well, if they have email, they'll have it by Tuesday, and then by Tuesday morning, their location should be handing it out. Let me see if there's any email update.
But also keep in mind that the plans aren't new. So it's the same plans that, except for the Willowbrook and the Webster, the two brand new locations. These are the plans that they currently have. So
yes, and that makes it great.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so they should, if they don't have it from this year, they probably have information from last year that, you know, there's probably, of course, rate changes since all plans go up in rates, but for the most part, the plan specifics stay the same.
And then posters and flyers should be up and around locations as well as handed out to employees.
Yeah, the posters and flyers are supposed to be arriving at most locations today, although it may be Tuesday for some of them.
Okay. I just want to call my location and let them know that that was one of their big questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Final details.
Brokers.
Go ahead.
Broker's doing his best. He's getting everything. He wanted to, you know, he wanted to offer them a brand new plan, but the time constraints aren't allowing it. Jennifer, did you have anything else that you wanted to share on Paragon before we end?
I don't believe so. With the plans staying the same, most of the employees who are currently enrolled, they're very knowledgeable of those plans. So, you know, more than likely they're not going to have many questions on that. Any questions will probably come from new hires. And again, I am available if anyone has questions during the enrollment. I'd be more than happy to answer those if I can.
Jennifer, do you have a cell number then, and I'll add it to the guide, Jennifer?
Actually, I do have a direct extension off of Carrie's.
Okay.
And I apologize, since I am new, I don't have that phone number completely memorized. It's 516.
Okay.
247-448, and the extension is 275.
What is the last four digits? I only heard 448.
Okay, it's 516-247-448. 6448.
6448. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put Jennifer's number in the guide for everybody as well that I'll send out over the weekend after I get the medical information to add to it. Anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, it's Mike. I do have one more. It's not a question. So one of the things I wanted to pass along, and I just remembered this, one of their plans is an HSA plan. And the...
That's chosen, Mike.
Oh, am I doing chosen again?
Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I need to go to bed earlier when I get up early in the morning. Holy cow.
That's the next conference. That's the next conference call that starts at 8.
Yeah, there's too much. Okay, we're not going to do 3 groups at one time for one broker again. This is just crazy. So, oh my God. Sorry, everybody. Oh, yeah. And I'm sure we'll hear back from. I got an email back from Wayne Hamilton on credit for time insured on disability, and so we'll get that included in the enrollment guide, and I'm sure he'll get it to us this morning. That's it.
Okay. Well, if nobody has any other questions, I thank you for. I
had one question, John and Lori. Were we going to do passwords that we have to report back? Because I heard a mention of it at the top of the training, but I haven't heard anything else about it.
Oh yeah, forgot. Hey, I totally forgot about that. So hey, we'll do this right at the end. The password to report back to me after you've listened to this hour and 15 minutes of training is, we'll just make it easy, it's Paragon. So there we go. Then I'll know those that I have to send the recording out to will be able to just email me or text me real quick the password, and I know you listened to the training. Because I know there's a few that were not able to be on it. And I will get the recording for this training out today, but the medical training recording won't get out until after Carrie and I do it, either on Sunday or Monday. Hopefully it'll be on Sunday that he'll be ready to do it, so I can get it out and you have some time to look at it. And I'll have a different password on that training, so I know that you listen to the medical information. Okay. Any other questions? Otherwise, I thank you for your time, and we look forward to a good enrollment.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.